I'm excited today because I get to show off some cool stuff. What's up everybody, my name is Tim Roswick and today we're talking about the 5 gadgets I could not live without. Now these gadgets are all over the place, a lot of different things from a lot of different parts of my life. Some of them you've heard of before, some of them you probably use, some of them you don't. We're gonna go through 5 of them that I think are beneficial to my life or my productivity or all things that have to do with getting shit done or living a full life. So I'm not gonna keep you waiting, let's get into number 1, the TIMECUBE. You've probably heard about Pomodoro technique before. Basically, it's the idea that you do short work sprints followed by short breaks. 30 minutes of work straight up, timed with a timer, and then you take a break, right? So that has kind of changed the way that I do things in life, because whereas I used to work 8 or 10 hours a day, now I do these short work sprints throughout the day and I take breaks, and as a result, like, I get more done, but I also have more fun. Like, I end up at the beach, or I end up at random places, and I take time off, and I have more fun with life. This is an invention that I found to be really effective for that, because what this is this is just a basic timer. 5, 15, 30, 60 minute intervals on it. They sell these in different intervals if you want different amounts of time. You just lift it on its side, and whatever's on top is the timer that it starts for you automatically. Now this doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. You could just go to Google and say start timer, or you could open up your phone and start timer, but I've found that, like, the distraction of doing all that can actually break me out of wanting to do the Pomodoro. If you've ever, like, struggled for the motivation to do something, for me, I've found that, like, just doing it, like, without thinking about it as quickly as possible is how I get past that barrier sometimes. Because if I stop to think about it, or if I have to open my phone and then there's Twitter notifications there, or like something else goes wrong, if I have to go to Google, and then I'm like, oh well, I could totally, you know, mess around on YouTube. It just, there's so many things in that 5 seconds, 10 seconds at a time that can just distract you and get you off on a different path, that I find this has been super effective for me. And I would say this is a big part of my productivity in the last couple months. I've had this for 4 or 5 months, and it's been effective for me. I think I paid like 19 bucks for this, which was a little pricey, but it's definitely made me more money than I've spent. But if you want to check this out, the link will be down in the description, and you can hit it up from there. Item number 2 is also a cube. We got a fidget cube. Now before you say, Tim, you're crazy, that thing is the dumbest thing I ever heard of, I agree with you. When I saw the Kickstarter for the fidget cube, I was like, what the hell are these dudes smoking? Like, seriously, it's a cube that's got some switches and some buttons on it, and like, what is going on? There's no way in hell I was ever gonna buy one of those, but I started to realize, paying attention to myself because of that video, the fidgeting, the whole, the fidget spinners, all that stuff that was going on in the news, everybody was talking about all the stuff, that I do a lot of fidgeting myself. I mess with pens, I mess with my face, I mess with various stuff on my desk, all while I'm like thinking through programming problems, or I'm trying to solve an issue or whatever. And I was like, whatever, why don't I just buy one? So I bought one, and I actually really like it. I kind of keep it in my hand. This is kind of like my problem solving cube. When I have a programming problem or a logic issue or something I'm trying to solve and I'm really trying to think hard, even with writing, this works as well. Like, I'm trying to think through, how can I like articulate this in the mechanic or in the story, and it helps to kind of have something to move around in my hand and mess with. To be quite honest, I kind of use the timer as that sometimes too. I'll just roll it around in my hand, and people have commented on the stream, I didn't even realize I was doing it. So I don't think it's the fidget cube necessarily, but it's some kind of fidget device that really helps. There's a thing in programming where people say they kind of talk to their rubber duck to talk through logic problems. I just kind of talk at my monitor, so I feel like having something to kind of draw me in to whatever mind space I was at when I'm walking through logic problems kind of helps. It's kind of a weird concept, but like, I feel like when I pick this up, it puts me in that mode of like solving problems. So I really like it. I think I got 2 of these for like 9 bucks on Amazon. And the link for that will be down in the description. Item number 3, we got this remote control and plug combo. I really like these. This has 5 buttons on it, 5 on buttons and 5 off buttons. And it allows me to turn things on and off at will. Anything that's plugged into a plug here, you can control with the remote, and you can also buy multiple remotes to control the same plug width or multiple plugs width. I find that just like automating my life like that makes it a little bit easier for multiple reasons. One is for the videos. You see this light back here, and I have another light here. These have little switches on the back that are kind of hard to reach. This one especially, because this is in an inaccessible spot. So having them on a remote is really, really beneficial. Also having lights around my house when I go to bed, and I can turn off the lights with the remote or whatever it is, or I can turn them on in the middle of the night if I need to see something. It's good for just like living and like being lazy, I guess. But it's also good for like not interrupting your flow when you're working. Because I have a big window here, and most of the day I'll use the sunlight. But sometimes I'll literally be working from when the sun is up to when the sun is down, and if I have to stop like my programming or whatever I'm doing to get up and mess around with the lights and stuff, it can lose my train of thought. And it helps to kind of have it right at a arm's length to kind of pick it up and just make it happen. I'm really sensitive to light. I don't really know why, but like I have daylight bulbs in these big lights. These are actually the lights that I use to light the room while I'm in here too, because they cast like a soft ambient light around the room, and that's kind of what I like. If anything is too bright or there's too yellowy, it kind of hurts my eyes. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've kept my perfect eyesight over time, is because I'm very sensitive to bright lights or light changes, and this kind of helps me live that lifestyle, if that makes sense. Hashtag lazy life. It actually doesn't stop with these remotes either. I actually have a bunch of stuff on remotes. I have my air conditioning, my temperature control, and all that stuff on there as well. Live your life on remote controls. All right, next up we got my Kindle Paperwhite. Now before you say, hey Tim, stop with that, I'm a paper book fan, you can't change me. I know what that's like. I used to read paper books. I have more paper books than I can count around this house. They're all over. I have them on shelves. I have them on all kinds of stuff. But this is practically the same thing. And it's literally, it doesn't hurt my eyes. I told you I was sensitive to light, so I never could read on a tablet or an iPad or something. I've tried on my phone. I've tried on various devices. This is different. This is based on e-ink, not an LCD or LED display, which means that it's basically the same thing as looking at paper. It also has a backlight on it. The pixels don't light up like they do on a traditional screen. It's actually a very slower technology that is flat and easy to read. You can read it in the sunlight, and you can read it at night with the backlight, which is really, really effective. I love this thing, because whereas I used to carry around 2 or 3 books in my laptop bag or wherever I was at, this lets me carry thousands, and this thing kind of fits in my pocket if I have a big pocket. I read every single night, so this stays by my nightstand. I take this with me whenever I travel. I take this with me when I go to the beach or something like that. I love to read, and this particular model also has 3G built in, which means I have free internet to access any kind of books at all from Amazon. I don't think it works, like I can't go on Google or anything else besides Amazon and Wikipedia, but it allows me to get books from literally anywhere for free, which is amazing. You pair this with something like Kindle Unlimited, which is what Amazon has, which is basically Netflix for ebooks, and you got yourself unlimited reading forever, and it just automatically downloads here. You can read whatever you want. I have a wide variety of stuff on here. At nighttime when I'm going to bed, I like to read fiction. It kind of calms my anxiety and my mind from the day, helps me escape into a world and then go to bed. And in the morning I like to read nonfiction. It kind of helps me get pumped for the day and get excited and learn something new. And I also feel like I'm more susceptible to learning in the morning, so that really helps me. But I'm a believer, man. I am absolutely a believer. I never was until I got this. This thing changed my life, and out of all of the gadgets here, I would say this and the TIMECUBE, you could not pry from my cold dead hands. And number 5, we're gonna cheat a little bit. It's actually multiple monitors. Now I actually left off my super cool blue backlighting that was supposed to be on during the entirety of the shot because it makes the back look awesome behind the brightly lit front. But if you can see with illuminated a little bit, I have a monitor here, I have a monitor here, and I have a third monitor up there, which is kind of out of shot. I don't necessarily need 3 monitors, but having the second monitor has increased my productivity massively. I know what it's like to work on a laptop with a single screen, and while it's mobile and it's portable, and that helps me because I get out of the house and go places, I am always more productive on multiple monitors. And I found that the third monitor doesn't make a huge difference for productivity, but what it does do is it frees up the first two monitors for actual work. If I'm on stream, the third monitor can be all the chat and the OBS and stuff like that. If I'm not on stream, it can be something like Spotify or Netflix, depending on what I'm doing. I can't watch Netflix while I'm like programming because I have to concentrate, but during art, it works great. For example, we're working on a game for the Discord bot, and I could not imagine doing that on one screen because I have the code here, then I have the MySQL database and the Node PowerShell open on the right screen, and then I had the stream and the chat open on this screen. That would be insane on one monitor. So if you don't have multiple monitors, I suggest you look into it. Monitors are super cheap these days, and it is something that I could not live without. I've actually been looking for alternatives for laptops, but I haven't found anything super portable that I could take with me that would give me multiple monitors, but I totally would do that. So those are my 5 gadgets that I can't live without. I hope you found something you like. All of the links from everything I described here are in the description. You can check it out, and those are affiliate links as well, which means if you buy something from one of those links, it helps out the channel and helps support what we're doing here, so I would really appreciate it if you did. If you like content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And my name is Tim Roswick. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.